Hi guys, it's Casey. I'm sorry I'm a few minutes late. We were in our members group doing a tutorial on there and on a painting that was dropped in. So I know this is a tough time of day to jump on, like, you know, at 4:15. So I apologize. This is how it fits into our day today. We're filming something else after this, something before it. I was painting a painting this morning and desk work. So it's a busy day always. So I'm glad you can join us. If you're on, you can jump on, say hello. If you're watching the replay later, say replay, and we'd love to know where you're from, so just let us know. So today what I decided to do is jump on and show you some impressionistic flowers, okay? And so I brought some paintings up from downstairs. We're actually in the studio today. It's just opening soon. Well, no, we still have an hour. We're safe. Usually people walk on up here all the time. So I brought like just 3 or 4 of the paintings up here. Actually, Lindsay, who's behind me, brought the paintings up here. She went up and down the steps 100 times today. She's tired, right, Lindsay?
I am.
She's tired. So one is our cow painting, which I love him. He makes me happy. There's some flowers in here. I'm gonna show you like 3 or 4 different styles of flowers. They're real fun. People initially think they're hard and they're not. You just need to know a few techniques in order to create them. These ones that look like roses. By the way, our easel's been knocked over right before our last live and everything went timber. So this is an easel like I'm saving. I've had like forever. I keep using it. It's on its last leg. But what else do I have here? So I have, this is our flowers with the base painting. I know I have boring names. They're trying to help me with that. All my paintings, and Lindsay's shaking her head. So I'm gonna show you some of these like purple flowers and violet flowers in here as well. These little flowers are fun to make also. So I brought that up here. We have a ton of paintings with flowers. This is our bicycle painting. When you create this painting, when we eventually put that in your membership as well, when you create this painting, you don't have to make a million flowers like I did, but these are easy and fun to make too. And then I even brought one up here that has some texture on it. This is done with a palette knife, and it uses a round palette knife for the flowers. And I'll show this one day. I'm just going to do this as a separate tutorial, but these are also impressionistic. So I just want to bring that up to show. And then I want to remind you guys, we're getting such beautiful paintings. The Eagle painting contest ends at the end of the month. If you want to submit this, and Lindsay's going to put into the links, right, Lindsay? We'll put into the links like the free tutorial for this. So if you still want to do this, we have a free tutorial. Go to kchq.com or look in the links below in the comments. Lindsay will put in there if you want to enter this contest with your painting. We'd love to see it. Modify it too. Like, we love when people are creative. We saw some great ones like Styles and Sierra too that changed them up, but there's some beautiful paintings of the Eagle in so far. I love them. And then also, we have posted on our site too. This is our 2-day challenge. It's time to fly. This one's $10. It's coming up on the 3rd and 4th of October, and you can join us live. You'll get the stencil and the supplies list when you sign up, and then you'll join us live. And if you can't make it, you'll have the video forever, so you can always do this at another time too. But you can paint with us live that day also with this painting, and be great decor for the holidays. So I just wanted to show you that. Okay. So I think I'm going to start. Is anybody on, Linz?
Yeah, they're coming too quickly. I can't even tell you. But I'm replying.
Well, say out loud who it is.
There's Kathy and Yankee and Chastity and Connie and Amy and Tina and Gail.
Oh, hi. Oh, there's Gail. Gail's been painting beautifully too. Everybody's been doing such a great job. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. I so appreciate it.
Chastity said she loves the cow. Didn't know if we did that. Do you do a live on the cow? And I said that you can get it in the HQ membership, or you can buy purchase it individually.
The cow is in our headquarters membership. So if you join the headquarters membership, right now there's 16 paintings in there, and then you get another one dropped in every week, and they just keep compiling. So the cow is in there, or you can, in our store at kchq.com, you can just get this by itself as well, the tutorial itself. Anything else, Linz? No, thank you for replying, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today, guys. So I like to draw this out downstairs where I teach. I have a whiteboard, and I draw this out for people so they like totally understand what we're gonna do. I do that with a lot of steps. So I like for people to see. Can you zoom in on this, Aaliyah? Is that okay? Sound like I said Aaliyah instead of Leah.
It's pretty too.
Okay, well, yeah, it is pretty too. So what we're going to do, are you in?
Yes.
Yeah, you don't have to zoom in on me, just this.
Just
kidding. Yeah. So what you're gonna do, yeah, you are gonna make like 2 parentheses. Okay, that's how you're gonna start. You're gonna use a flat brush. I suggest maybe under 1/2 inch for sure. The larger you make these flowers, the ones that look like roses, the impressionistic roses, the harder they are to make, because then you have to include more detail. If they're about this size or smaller, they're a lot easier. You can use 2 different brushes for medium size. To a small size, I use like it's right under, it's about 1/4 to 1/2 inch, a flat brush, and you can use an angle brush as well. You can use a round brush, which is a small point for very small flowers too. But you start with the parentheses, okay, using the paintbrush vertically, the skinny side of it, okay? And then what you're going to do is you're going to make another parenthesis either on the top or the bottom. When you're doing this, your pressure is very light, then it goes harder, and then you pull off, okay? So it actually looks like a parenthesis. It's very thin on the ends, okay? And then what you're going to do, this is where people make their mistake. A lot of people like to do this and connect them around. We don't want them to connect at all. Okay, so this is a no-no. So what you want to do is you want to swoop and make sure that they don't meet. Okay, you don't want to connect them at all. And so that's the process that we do that for every flower. And this parenthesis could be on the bottom instead, and just make them different shapes and sizes. So there's a few steps to it. The first thing you do is you're going to take your paint color that you're working with, and you're going to make a base color first. So say I'm doing the dark purple. That's Dark Zine Purple, okay? This is my medium flat. Do you want me at this camera or this camera, Leah? Which one's better? This one here? Is this one better?
Yes.
This one, okay. Okay, so what you're going to do, every time I use a new brush, put it in the paint cup, which I already did, and then I'm going to pull out my paint off to the side. I never work with a large palette paint. I always pull it off the side. It's always easier to add paint to your canvas than take it off. So I'm going to pull it out, okay? And the first base coat, you're really just making the whole shape of the flower, and you're not really, you know, putting in your strokes yet. But you want to put some black paint in here. You want it pretty dark to start. So you're like you have a blackish purple, okay? The only color you don't put the black in is the yellow. You can put a little tan in there instead. But the other colors, you want to start with a little bit of black in there, okay? I want to make sure I have a decent amount of paint too. So Lindsay has one of our cows sketched out, and hopefully this doesn't fall over on me. So I'm just gonna randomly start here, and you can practice your shape here like that, the 2 parentheses, and go around the end and just practice your shape, you know, when you do this, okay? So you're gonna get your main shape in just like that, all right? And then I don't wash my brush off because I don't want any water in my brush. I wipe it off on my paint towel, or if you're using paper towels, wipe it off on there. I always use paint towels. I get like bundles of 100 for like 20 bucks, so you can wash them. I can't paint without a paint towel. I wipe my brush on there all the time, okay? So then you're gonna start another side pile of your purple, okay? And you're gonna put it on both sides of your brush, and you're gonna flatten it out. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna put your tip into the white. You definitely need the tip into the white. So sometimes you wanna tap it off if you have a large amount of white on there. Are you able to get that, Leah?
Yes.
Okay. So then you're gonna start your parenthesis process, okay? So I'm gonna go, can you see I'm gonna try to hold my hand? I know we're doing a different angle today. So we're gonna go to the side, and I have like a brush that's a little bit frayed, so it's not the best, but I'm gonna go to the left, the right, and I'm gonna do my top part, okay? Wipe off your brush, go back and grab it again. The purple on both sides, and then you're gonna put the white on the tip. I'm a little shaky. I've been painting all day long and all night last night, and I have a spinal cord injury, so I'm a little shaky. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start swooping around. So I need a little bit more white paint. I ran out of it there, so I need a little bit more white. And you're gonna start swooping around, and see how I'm not connecting whatsoever. You definitely don't wanna connect, okay? But you need the highlights in there. It's really important. Any questions, Lindsay?
No.
No, okay. So you wanna bring that out to the sides and make sure nothing's connecting. It doesn't look like much until when it dries. What you're gonna do is you're gonna put in the centers of the flowers as well. So what you'll do is you'll grab a round brush, which has a fine point on it. You're gonna grab a little bit of black, okay, tiny bit of black. I always pull that off to the side too. You're gonna fill this center part with black, okay? When that dries, which I don't know if the paint will hold it right now, you take the hard part of the brush, the back end of the brush, you put a little bit of white in there, and then you're gonna put a dot like right in the center. And it's not gonna stick because my black's so white, but you wanna put some white right in the center, okay? And then what you'll do is you'll do your next flower right next to it. I'm gonna pick another color so you can see. Once you get in, and flowers like this can kind of drive people crazy because they're impressionistic, especially if you have a little OCD. Tends to happen sometimes, right, Lindsay Lou?
Yeah,
Lindsay's...
I don't have OCD.
Yeah. Well, you learned to paint looser. You used to be a little tighter too in the beginning, right?
Yeah, you saw my first painting.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. She sent me her first. It wasn't with me. She sent me her first painting this morning, and I didn't know what it was. And it surprised me. And I was like, "What is that?" And she was like, "It's a key." And I was like, "I'm sorry, I didn't know it was a key." Because when she started painting with me, she did really good. So that was funny. And I go, "Well, don't post that. Like, people will think that I taught you that. Don't post that." That's so funny. We're brutally honest here with each other. So I'm gonna put some, I'm grabbing this this deep red color, it's called crimson red, and I'm putting some black in this. Okay, I'm gonna show you another one. Putting some black in here. We want it pretty dark to start, all right? And so I'm gonna start over here. I'm not worried about the cow because we're not painting the cow, but I'm just worried, like seeing how my hand's most comfortable. So I'm going to make the shape of the flower over here. Okay, just like that. I'm going to show you how to make some small ones too with a round brush. What I'm doing is I'm going to pull out some red again, pull out another side pile because we don't want the black pile. I'm going to put the tip in the white. Thinking I should switch to another brush because this brush is a little frayed. So then you're going to make your parentheses. You're going to start with that one. And then I'm going to go to the one on the top. Then we're going to start bending around, okay? My angle's weird here. So you're gonna push and pull off, push and pull off. I'm gonna wait to do the center until that one dries a little bit, okay? I'm gonna show you with a round brush also. So this is a round brush. This is a beat up one, but this is a round brush. I'm gonna wet it. Let's show you, I'll show you this like cerulean blue, okay? This one's a little chunky. This is a heavier based. So I'm gonna pull that out. I'm gonna add a tad of black to it, not too much. Anybody have any questions, Linz? You awake over there?
I am awake. No questions.
Okay. Everybody's quiet.
They are quiet.
I'm not used to the quiet. You know?
Like they're watching Bob Ross.
Oh, geez. Oh, listen, you're going to be excited at the painting I was painting today. And I actually hardly ever leave a painting without finishing it. I have this obsession once I start and I can't stop. And I ran out of time today because I was like, I have to go shower. And so I'm painting on a wood palette, a 10 by 20. And I wanted to show you guys, I have a red barn. Started out, I was doing like this. What's that color blue that we just got?
Steel blue.
Steel blue. Mm. But because I have mountains in there, there's actual mountains in there, and then has a fence, a little bit of a dirt road, and some trees, and it's really coming out nice. And so I'm excited to show you. I'll show you that tomorrow. But I was working on that before I came. I've been painting all day. I'm working on samples for the winter. I'm excited. So I need to put a little water in this. It's a little bit thick. I'm going to start out a little darker too with this. So when you're doing a little flower, I know, Leah, can you see this? Like this small?
Yes.
Are you able to see? Yes? You're great. Good job. So you're going to make the shape, okay? You're going to wipe it off again. Use your paint towel. Don't wash your brush, okay? So I'm going to start another pile over here. It's so chunky, Lindsay. The cerulean's chunky. We were saying that. We're like, it's chunky in the cup. So we always use that word in class. So again, this is where you're gonna make the parentheses just a little smaller. You do have to apply your pressure and lift off, okay, and come around. So if you're used to doing detail, like we can do detailed flowers too, but we're working on impressionistic, okay? Just make sure that they don't connect, because that's, once we explain it to everybody and we draw that out, isn't it amazing how many people, like everybody gets it, and everybody does really well. All of these flowers, like we have this series with the farm animals, we have a lot of these different animals that we did, and all these flowers come out so nice and it's easy for them. And these dotted flowers, I'll show you those as well. They're really easy also. So I'm just gonna go, because I can't leave things unfinished, I'm gonna go and put the black like in the center here. Just a little bit of darkness right there. Makes a big difference. And then we have to wait for that to dry. It's not holding the white dot, so we'll wait for that to dry. I'm gonna show you a couple other things. Like I'm gonna show you, let's show you how to put a stem in and put in some of these purple flowers too, okay? We haven't done this since spring. So I'm gonna show you that. Let me pull this out of here. Can you see this on that camera? This on that camera?
A little bit.
A little bit, okay. I'm gonna move stuff around. We're waiting for everything to temper just because we've all done that. Lindsay knocked everything over. It's just everything went, like, it was right before the last live in our group, and we've all done that. And I think it's this easel. Don't you think it's a jinx?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I love it,
when
but there's a jinx.
lights and everything,
Yeah.
everything got tangled.
Yeah.
Small area.
Yeah, it is a small area. And we find our worst light is up here, up in this office where we're supposed to, you know, film and stuff. Our best light is right in the front by the road. And we'd never be left alone. But so when you're making the stem, guys, I always make it like a little darker to start. So I'd pull out some of this sap green, put some water in it with the black, and darken it so you can make a stem, okay? So I'm using a script liner brush. We love script liner brushes. You can make, if you apply pressure, it's a little bit wider, but if you just very lightly go, it makes such a nice light stroke, very fine stroke. And there isn't a painting class we don't use a script liner brush, huh, Lens? Like, never, one.
And we always use a...
Yeah, I don't think that there's one. Initially, people think because of longer bristles, they don't have a lot of control with it, but once you get used to it, and a big thing with painting is getting used to how hard you're going to press and how light you're going to press. And so once you get used to that with this brush, it's pretty easy. So what I'm going to do is I would draw, bye cow, I'm going to draw a stem here. Yeah, the cow's gone. Lindsay, we should have just used a blank canvas instead of taking one of your cows.
That's all right.
You know, I'm sorry. So here's going to be the stem, okay? I'm just putting it sideways so I don't cover it with my hand when I'm painting it, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to a round brush, which we call pointy brushes in our studio, so people know which one it is. I'm going to go to purple and white, okay? So I'm going to pull out some purple off to the side, and then I'm going to put some white on the tip, okay? And if you have a ton of white, just tap it off. And what I do with this, what I put in here, so I kind of tap these in bundles, okay? So what I do is I come off to the side. Can you see this?
Yes.
And I tap these in bundles. If you're not getting the white to stick on your tip, this is where I should put my glasses on. If you're not getting the white to stick on your tip, then you can always go back and tap with a little bit of white. Now I can see everything. I need bifocals. I refuse. They make me, I've tried on bifocals, they make me a little nauseous. So this is just purple with white on the tip, and I go in bundles. I can show you how to make like little stems coming off from here as well. You'd be surprised how these filler flowers really add to a painting. It's surprising how, Lens. Like I have to tell you that the painting below that you're looking at with this, that painting is from a blank canvas, and they're some of the most beautiful paintings in the studio when people do them. They're really gorgeous. People are scared at first because they're like, oh my goodness, it's blank. So, and what I would do with this then, once you get that in, is I would go back to the green with the black, with the script liner, let you know where all your bundles are, and make these little dashes that would imply that there's like little stems coming out to these bundles. You need a little bit of water in your paint, and so you would want to do that, okay? So you have a little bundle like that, okay? So that's this flower right here. A lot of times too, like for filler, like once you get your leaves in, you can just like dot and tap just some white and some purple, and you don't have to put the stems in or anything, and it really adds volume to the painting. So I'm also going to show you, I think I'll show you some of these little yellow ones. They're really easy too. So I'm going to show you those. You can do those. And then we have like these dotted flowers with the cow that Like these ones here, they don't even have any stems with them. And they're just like filler flowers, you know, they're just tiny like filler flowers that come up through here. This background's with a palette knife, and so it's a messier painting, it's loose, but it made me happy. I love that painting. I created that painting with my uncle. Those of you that know us know that I take care of my uncle with Down syndrome and Alzheimer's, and he was very ill and had just went on hospice, and I created that painting, and it made me happy. Huh, Lindsay? I didn't want to like take it.
It's a happy cow.
It's a happy cow, and I looked at this when I painted. I looked at an actual cow like looking over the fence, and I loved creating him. So it's very cute. But we did a lot of classes on them too. So I'm going to show you this. This is a very light touch also. You can use a little lighter green with some water. So I'm going to show you this one right here. It's very, very easy. It's probably a little distracting that it's on that cow's head. Is it? Is that a little bothersome, Leah? A little bit. Let me change canvases.
Yeah.
It probably like the drink. That's what I mean. Yeah, it's probably a little distracting. So I'm going to make these fine lines here. So when we create this, these right here, you have to have your lightest touch, guys. You want a very, very light touch when you're making these off the top. What's important about this is that when you're creating your initial stem and then you're making the little tiny stems come off of it to place the flowers on the top, that you're making Ys. You're not making Ts, okay? And I can show you that. We talk about that when we create trees all the time. So this is important in making these types of flowers also. We need a big whiteboard up here too, you know? So you have your initial stem like this, but you're gonna come back here and you're gonna make these little tiny Ys. Can you see that, Leah?
Yes, I can.
Coming up to the top. I just like to show my painters these things like drawn out. Sometimes it helps them, and we project it up on our TVs too. And then I'll tap with some yellow at the top, and then I'll tap with some white. It's going to be hard for you to see the white because we're on a white canvas. We don't have a background in, of course. So that's going to be a little harder for you to see. But I just want to show you how to make these. When you make these stems, you have to make sure that you have your water, like your paint watered down. I always say to our class at least 3 times. 3 times. So you put this brush into your cup 3 times separately to water down this side pile, because you need this paint to go on real easy. And then I try to flatten my brush. But what I do is, sorry, I turn everything just because I have that spinal cord injury, so I don't have to hold my arms up really high. So what you do is you're just bringing this, like these up to the top, almost like it's holding it, okay? Very light. And you lift off your pressure when you're doing this. So you lift off, lift off, lift off when you're doing it, okay? So then you have something like this. And then I'm going to get my pointy brush again, which is my round brush. And I'm going to go directly in the yellow, directly in. And I'm going to get chunky paint. So one thing that we see in classes too, when people tend to put these on or any dotted flowers, they're smashing the brush. You're just using the very tip of the brush. It's very, very easy. It's very gentle. And that way you have like little separate pieces, okay? Most of these will be covered with white afterwards too. So this makes it like very easy, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna touch this. Lindsay, does anybody have any questions?
No questions.
Okay. So I'm just basically, I'm going to try to hold my hand off to the side. I'm dotting in like bundles, okay? My hand's just jumping around. I'm dotting in bundles like this. I wish I had a color. I should have done this one on black so you guys could see. Then I wipe it off on my paint towel. I don't wash my brush. I don't want any water in it. I get chunky white and I do the same thing, but I leave some of the yellow showing. So I would touch the tips of this. Looks a lot better, like I said, on color. So you have that one there too, okay? Those look beautiful in arrangement also. I can show you a couple of leaves as well. So then you can compile your own, you know, vase or your own arrangement or do your own bike also. These ones up here are, can you see that up there, Leah? I'm sorry.
Not really.
Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna pull that down. So these ones up here are just done with a smaller round brush, a smaller pointy brush. And we did the same exact thing, like very, very little, we're doing those parentheses all around, but they're so tiny, so they come out beautifully. And then we go and we highlight them with white at the end. So this is done where we put in the flowers black first, so we put the shape of the flower completely black. Then we go back with a raw sienna with white. Okay, so I'm in a hot flash. It's hot up here. Raw sienna with white. And then we do our parentheses, leaving some of the black show through. Instead of, you know how we darken the color, that's when we leave the black show through on this one. And then we go back and we touch it with a little bit of gold and a little bit of white. So you have a lot of dimension. I never paint something like all the same shade because it'll look flat. You definitely need lights and darks in everything that you do, and medium, you know, shades in every single thing that you do. So it looks like it's three-dimensional. So you want to think about that every time you paint, to make sure that you're not creating something that's all one shade. It's just gonna look flat, like flat Stanley. So, Lindsay, you still with me?
I am. Yankee says she loves your hair today. No questions so far.
Oh, thank you, Yankee. You know, it is different every day. I told you, like, I don't know how to fix my hair anymore. It's like crazy. I know. And with the humidity, it's just it's gonna get bigger and wilder. Thank you so much, Yankee, though. I'm gonna grab a teal, so I'm gonna duck over here, grab that really quick. Oh, you have a teal out here, Lindsay. You're on it.
I try.
Lindsay's done. Now I'm hot. It's so humid today. Lindsay's been telling me she's sweating up here. It finally just hit me.
I am too.
Oh, you are too? I'm like, oh my goodness, I think I'm gonna need water. So I'm gonna show you some impressionistic leaves. So you can make them a few different colors. A lot of times I'll use this teal color. I'll put a little bit of black in this. Makes a little bit of a eucalyptus color. I hear people starting to come in downstairs. A little bit of a eucalyptus color, and then you can put some white on the tip, okay? And then always tap that off on your plate. And then what you're gonna do is you start with the top. The top would be a little bit lighter, okay? And then you can go to the bottom and make it a little bit darker, okay? Or you can make these one stroke and do it all together. But your shape is like this, and so that's impressionistic. You can always go back, even when that gets a little tacky dry, and add a little bit of a white, you know, to the inside rim of the top. And you can put a line right up the middle with the script liner to make it look like a vein. So remember, all these flowers and the leaves are impressionistic. We're not showing any detail in these. We're just making it like implications that it's a leaf or a flower, okay? We can do real ones, like realistic ones another day. But then you can try like other colors. So I'm gonna show you. You can always get, do I have yellow out? Yeah. So you could always get one of your greens. So I'll take my sap green, kind of I'm gonna mix the middle green with it, okay? And then I'm gonna put white on my tip too, okay? So then I'll show you another leaf. So you always wanna start at the top when you have white on the tip. You'll start with, so see that's a totally different color. So now for the bottom, if I wanna do the bottom a little darker, I pull a little black into that sap green, and then I go around the bottom. Okay, just like that. And then I would put my stem in. A lot of times once I put my stem in, I'll put a really fine line. I'll go back and put another fine line after it dries, a little bit of white on top of that to highlight the center, okay? A lot of times too, like if you're doing like sunflower leaves, you can do like the veins in there too. And those are all wise also, guys, and when you do those veins. I'm trying to think, Lindsay, am I missing any of our other...
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Like you can do a lot making those impressionistic flowers. Like you can create this whole thing in here. These little pieces, and I can show you this as well. I can show you this really quickly also. Those, like I would say greenery. Is that what you would call it, Leah? Those pieces of greenery?
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna pull out my darker green with a little bit of black in it. I'm gonna water it down, okay? So these, like you can have, I'm gonna do my stem, okay? Say that's coming down that way. And then I'm gonna go back to my pointy brush, all right? And so let's see what color I want. I think I'm gonna stick with these green colors here with the sap in the middle green with white on my tip. So these would actually get, I'm gonna go this way. So this would actually, they would be bigger at the bottom, a little bigger at the bottom, and then they would get, you have to wipe off your brush in between everything. And you're doing this swooping motion. So I'm gonna draw this for you guys so you can see it. Maybe a little bit more close. Oh, there it goes, Linz. I caught it. Okay, So when you're making a leaf, you just go to the top and then you go to the bottom like this, okay? So top, bottom, okay? Sunflower leaves, they have like the little jagged edges on them, you know? So I kind of like, I'll put some darkness around the edge, and then the veins are kind of like this. Like you have little, well that one went a little too long with the marker, but they're kind of like that. Can you see that, Lisa? Lisa. Like a crazy person today. Yeah. Okay. All right, so I'll show you a couple of these here. So in between each one, what you're gonna do is you're gonna wipe off your brush on your paint towel. Then you're gonna grab your greens, and then you're gonna put the tip in the white. Oh, that's probably Eliza for the tutorial too.
Yeah, she's been downstairs for a while.
Oh, she has? She can come up here.
Oh, she's cooler down there.
Oh, I don't blame her. Why did she text you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to wipe it off again. And then as I go up, I'm just going to make them a little smaller as I go up. So, and I wiggle and then I pull in. Okay. So I'm going to go back to my green. I didn't have a lot of paint on there, so I don't have to wipe it on my paint towel. Put the tip in the white, wipe the tip off. I'm going to go around. I'm going to pull and come back in. Okay. So I'll do this the whole way up. So you can fill a vase with this. We should have a tutorial on how to make the vase, huh? If you guys want a tutorial on how to make the vase, let me know, because we can do that too. Like a mason jar.
Yes.
Or a vase. Yeah, that's always fun. So I'm not needing, I'm wiping out pretty good on the side of my plate. I'm not needing to wipe my brush off, but these can keep getting smaller as you go up. Do you see that? Can you see that well, Leah?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. I know our light up here, with it being like this stormy day, like you can barely see anything up here today. And we have a lot of lights on. So at the end, I'm just gonna put one like right at the very tip. You can always add a little bit more white to where you think the light is hitting. Right, Lindsay?
Right.
Lindsay always goes, I don't see the light, but it looks like it on her paintings. There's a lot of contrast. So I always try to explain, like, pick a direction the light's coming in and think of where the light would hit. Like on my face with the light, like I would have the light here, here, here. So you want to brighten up those areas. That keeps it from looking flat and makes it a little bit more three-dimensional. Okay, so I hope this helped you. I hope this helped you with your flowers, impressionistic flowers. We'll have some realistic tutorials here too, and I hope it helps you. And we'll work on a vase if you want to. So put in the comments if you want me to do that one day. I'll do that as well. Don't forget to enter for the eagle with the flag painting that's on our site. Lindsay's putting the link in there, right, Linz? And then It's Time to Fly is on our site as well. I can't wait to do that on October 3rd and 4th. Also, our headquarters membership, we're going to be closing that soon, and probably just over a week and a half, because we want to work closely with our members. Well, the Painting of the Month Club will remain open. We're also opening our kids club here soon, so we're excited about that. But the headquarters membership, we're just going to open that a couple times a year. That's our larger membership that has, you know, multiple paintings in there. You get the challenges free. You get 50% off anything else. So that is open like probably another week and a half, right, Lens? Another week and a half, yep. Right? Okay. So let us know if you have any questions. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're very grateful you joined us, and we hope to see you again soon.